Mustache hairs are always so long they curl up into my nose.
Can I tickle your nose?
They tickle, and I always have to do this.
That's crazy. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
And
board gaming things.
Exactly. We're back again with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's pumped up Kickstarter preview is going to be on... Whoa! Straight from space. Wandering Galaxy from Plaid Hat Games, who very kindly sponsored this video. So thank you to Plaid Hat Games. Now, this is a Crossroads game, isn't it, Jeff?
It is.
There's an entire series of Crossroads games.
Is this the fourth Crossroads game?
I believe that it is. We have Dead of Winter,
Yep.
Forgotten Waters,
Yep.
Freelancers,
Yep.
and Wandering Galaxy is their newest iteration, and this one is designed by Jerry Hawthorne. So they're not all designed by the same
Our boy
people.
Jerry.
Our boy Jerry, who you might remember from games such as Familiar Tales and Aftermath. Everything that's got cute little creatures, basically. So, as per usual with our preview videos, we are going to do a little overview and then we're going to jump into a discussion to help you figure out whether or not this game is right for you. So, without further ado, let's do the thing. Okay, we're back. Let's talk about Wandering Galaxy. So, like I mentioned before, this is a Crossroads game, which means that it has a specific system that it uses. It is a campaign game, and in this game, everybody is going to take on the role of a different bounty hunter. They're all different types.
Spacers.
They're spacers, exactly. But on the bottom of the cards, they all say bounty hunters.
I know, but they're spacers.
They're spacers. So everybody's going to take on the role of a different character. There are a lot of different types of characters. You can be a muse. You can be a human. You could be a ton of different types of, it's almost like species, really.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. And just like in many of the other Crossroads games, you're actually like kind of building out your story and your path a little bit, and you do that right off the get-go. So when you start the game, and there's only going to be so much that we can cover in this because, like I mentioned, it's a campaign game and we don't want to give away any spoilers, okay? But you're going to start off by choosing some of your characteristics. You're going to name your character, and based on the characteristics...
Digby Dandy.
Digby Dandy. I chose Albatron. So you are going to be picking some characteristics, and from there it is going to give you your background story.
Yep.
And then it's also going to give you some kind of a special setup, so maybe an item card or maybe something to put in your skill deck, something like that. So that's kind of how the game is started. Now, this is an app-driven game. So you will have an app, and what is a beautiful thing about this is that you can get the app to walk you through everything. It's going to walk you through the setup, so it'll tell you where to put what pieces. It will also ask you if you would like the app to help you or if you would like to do it yourself. So as an example, when we set up our first game, we got the app to help us set up the main game, and then everybody is also going to be taking on control of some portion of the game. So there's like navigation and logistics and science, and every character, every person is going to be assigned at least one of those roles. In lower player games, it's going to be multiple.
Yeah, it's essentially like a section of the ship.
Exactly, and that's basically saying, like, if you're navigation, then you're in charge of where the ship moves and all of the jobs that we're taking on, those kinds of things. So we set that part up ourselves because on those portions of the game and the board, it will give you setup rules. So we just decided to do that ourselves.
Yeah.
Then you just dive right in. Instantly. So
Gaming.
Yeah, you can just jump right in. Now, of course, it always helps to read the rule book so that you know some of the nuances of the game.
Sure.
But you can just dive right in if you like. So without going too far into it, let me just explain how the game works. Like I mentioned, you are different like bounty hunters or spacers. And you're kind of working as a little bit of a group or team. And you are going to be going into different areas through space as you travel through space, trying to find different jobs to do.
You're trying to get money.
You're trying to get money.
And fame.
And glory and all of these things. So, but you are going to be taking on different jobs. And how the Crossroads system works, so the game is played inside of a book with an app. So the app is going to read you the story, and it's going to tell you what page of the book you need to go to. Then, once you get to that certain page, it is going to give you a list of options. Some of those options are going to be blocked off. Some of those options are going to say that a certain person needs to go there, or that at least one character. Yeah, they're mandatory. And then you are going to be making decisions. There is a timer, 45 seconds for each person to place out their little standee onto one of those options. Okay, you can talk amongst yourselves to be like, hey, I'm going to go here. I'll volunteer to do the mandatory thing. I want to go on this little bit of a side adventure because stealing or swindling sounds like something fun that I could do. So you're going to place all of your miniatures out or your standees out.
And the 45 seconds is just more so like
it's just keepy snappy.
Keep the AP to a minimum.
Exactly. You don't technically have to play with it, but we've always played with it, and we're pretty quick with ours. So, and then you are going to resolve the actions from top to bottom. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to tell you exactly what the action does, what kind of skill checks it's going to need, and then it'll give you a number, which the app will then, you'll be able to select it, and it will read out a portion of the story. And then it's going to give you possibly more options or a new adventure, or you're going to talk to skill checks, you're going to talk to NPCs, and it's just building up more and more of the story. Okay, so you're going to go through and resolve. Now, like I just mentioned, a lot of the different choices that you make require skill checks. So each character has a skill deck, and obviously you're better at certain things. So my character is better at sneaking. Jeff's character is a pilot, so they might be better at things like piloting or flying. And so they, based on...
I love that you chose piloting.
You might even be a good pilot. Who's to say? So you have a skill deck, and how skill checks work is you are going to pull 3 cards from your skill deck, and you are going to check the icons on those cards, and then you are going to select that on the app how many successes you've got. Now, there are other tokens that can up the amount of successes that you have, and some of the cards are also going to give you additional actions. Maybe you pull more cards, or maybe you can increase your reputation, or different types of things.
Yeah, and early in the game, like, you're not going to be
good at stuff.
Yeah, successful.
No, because you can build up your skill deck as the game goes along.
Yeah. So it's not like you instantly are going to be good at everything.
No, that is correct. So that's essentially how the game system works, and then the story is just going to build and build and build and build. Now, the story itself is, it's got like a very cheeky tone to it.
It's very silly.
It's silly, it's funny, it's sassy. Yeah. And you are also kind of like playing off of each other's characters and doing all of these different things. But like I said, you are going on an adventure through space, and depending on the decisions you make and the successes that you get, it's going to determine how your story unfolds.
Yeah.
Basically. So a game that you play might end up being quite different than the game that we play, even based on the characters that you play. And so that does mean that there is replayability, even though it is a campaign game.
There's also a bit of a like legacy element, because each character has what are called scars. Yeah. Which are things that have impacted them from previous instances of the game.
Yes.
You know, like, again, scars you might get in battle and that sort of thing.
Exactly. And then also, so you are kind of like I said, you're kind of a team of like spacers, bandits, whatever. So you're also managing a ship, and you have to do things like upgrade your ship and repair your ship and do all of these different things that are, once again, just going to enhance more of your options, your skills, your everything.
More cargo.
Exactly. And there's just a bunch of moving pieces. So with this game, unlike any of the other Crossroads game, you can actually play this solo. So it plays 1 to 6 players. Now there is a special variant for both solo play and 2-player. Obviously Jeff and I played it at 2-player. So when you do that, you have additional characters that you play. Or
apprentices.
Like apprentices. So, like, if I have my character, I will also have an apprentice, and the apprentices is a hard word.
Apprentice-I.
Apprentice-I will also be taking some actions for you, and they are technically controlling different parts of
they're like their
ship.
own. The best way to put it is like they're their own player that each of you are controlling. So they're going to interact with the story. Just like you would with your character. They're going to interact with the ship boards, but you're just controlling what they kind of do. Exactly.
But yes, so this Crossroads game can be played solo and 2-player, which both Forgotten Waters and Freelancers, you weren't able to do that. They're minimum 3 players, and so this kind of expands the system a little bit more so that more people at different player counts can enjoy it.
Yeah. This also, like, it's not like a linear path thing. It can be, but you're also like right from the get-go, you have some jobs that you're supposed to complete, but you can technically just go and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. It's like you'll get a main job that you're trying to do, but then you might run into other NPCs who are like, well, I've got a job for you if you want to earn some extra cash or you want to do that, and you get to decide whether or not you care about those kinds of things.
Indeed.
Yeah. So the question is, who is this game for? Jeffrey?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious piece is if, like, you like these games in this system, this would be one to grab. It is just the next iteration of this system, especially the system of games from Wandering Galaxy to Forgotten Waters, like those 3.
Freelancers,
Forgotten Waters, and now this one. I think it's really good for kids, like. And gamers alike. Like, I'm not saying this is a kid's game, but the whole narration piece and like the silly stories. And when I say kid, I mean it's 14 plus on the box, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. There's some jokes in here and stuff that you probably don't want like little kids, but it probably would fly right over their heads anyway. But yeah, like, it's super easy to get into, super quick to get into. You can just set up the app and start playing and setting up and doing all of the fun things to get to gaming quickly. These worlds are always super unique and, worth adventuring through.
For sure. And it is just worth mentioning again, like, the app is required to play the game. So if you hate computers. You don't like people reading to you. Maybe it's not for you, but the app does have like very immersive like music, and it's all voice acted. The app is voice acted, so every character has different voices and the side characters, and so that also makes a good point, because I know sometimes with these narrative-based or story-based games, a lot of people have an issue, oh, it's too much reading. It's not, because the app is reading to you, and then there's always, you're just going to have to read like the choices and the prompts and stuff like that. So, but if that does sound like something that you're like, ugh, I don't like it, obviously this is a game where you are working together with other people, but you still have your own kind of job or role your own autonomy,
yeah, for sure.
There is a lot of pieces in this game, and it does take up a lot of table space.
Yes.
So
I think the most of any of the three.
I feel like yes. I feel like yes. Yeah. But also, with that being said, like, it is a campaign game, so you know, if you are taking it down and putting it back up a lot, you know, if you don't have a table where you can keep it out, just keep that in mind. There's a lot of setup that goes along with
I feel like there's just more ship parts than like in the other games.
But it does have, like, there's some obvious places to stop in the game, and you can kind of, like, save your progress and do all of these things. So
all the cards are numbered, so when you have to reference and pull cards out, it's pretty straightforward to find them.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is a little bit about Wandering Galaxy. Now, typically with Plaid Hat Games, they typically go straight to retail, but this is their first one that's going to Kickstarter. And so definitely, if you are interested in checking out Wandering Galaxy, click the Kickstarter link down below. You can follow the project. You can buy it if it's something that looks interesting to you. But as always, make sure that you know, read some reviews, watch other content, figure out whether or not this is a good fit game for you, because
we want you to make informed buying decisions.
It's the best thing that you can do for your game collection. But that is everything that we have for today. So once again, thank you to Plaid Hat Games for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in other board games, remember this one is Kickstarter, but other Plaid Hat games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. We actually got a ton of our Plaid Hat games from the Board Game Cafe.
Wow.
Which is Jeff's line.
Yeah, just
Jeff, what's our friendly local
sometimes
gaming store?
You just get on a roll and you're like,
I'm just going to keep going. What is our friendly local gaming store?
Boardroom Game Cafe.
And what kind of games did we get there?
Plaid Hat Games.
Exactly. Yes, we did. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
There it is. Not even remotely close.
Which way? Oh, like that way.
Yeah. Whoa.
Here, put this off camera, and then you'll pull it. It'll be like a magic trick that you'll pull in.
Familiar tears.
Tears.
I can't wait to smash you in this tank game.
I'm gonna smash you first. So it is kind of like a campaign game, and oh my god, that was a stutter. My face is hot.